Yo, 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 yo. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. How are you? Good morning, good day. Whatever time it is for you. Hope your day is going well. It's good to be here, as always. Good to see you guys. Day 5 of The Witcher 3. Yeah. Game is amazing. More Gwent today. Have you not seen that? Have you not seen that, soldier? Yeah, dude, yeah. So that's like we did a we did our anniversary, our 1 year anniversary stream back on the 24th of May, and that was a montage of some of the better clips we had gotten over the past year that I put together and got set up for the beginning of the stream. Yeah, first time, right on, man, right on. Yeah, glad you liked it, man. Glad you liked it. Yeah, it needs a little bit more work, but at least it's something for the intro. You know what I mean? Other than just starting soon or whatever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's pretty fun. Pretty fun. Needs a little bit more work, but I'm continuing to work on more clips and stuff like that. It's good to see you, buddy. How are you? How are you, soldier? So yeah, more Witcher 3 today. Um, should be getting into some more Gwent today, which should be fun. We've only really gotten to play one NPC in Gwent, but I think we have more Gwent coming today, which is nice. And we are now past the first area of the game, so kind of really pushing on. By the way, if you're not aware, we already had our first iteration of a rando mote game happen in chat. So if you didn't see it already, go ahead and get your exclamation point rando motes up there in chat. See if you can get a free sub this morning. You're looking for Kappa Cool emote this morning. Exclamation point rando mote. Wick, what's up, dude? Wick's already got his in. How are you, buddy? Let's go ahead and do what we do, guys. Let's get over here and get into the gaming news, and then we'll switch over and get into our Witcher gameplay. All right. Let's go. Oh man, camera issues. That's not how to fix it. This. Perfect. Let's go. All right, man. A video game prescribed by doctors to treat ADHD. Let's take a quick look at that. Look, we've talked a lot. We've seen a lot of articles. I've done my own research, especially throughout my higher education, my higher learning, university, stuff like that. I've written extensive papers upon certain ways in which video games, specific types of video games, can increase cognitive functioning. There have been extensive studies done in the field of science on how the benefits basically all around that video games can have on the human mind, the human brain. And this is just another example of things that they're finding in which video games can have a positive effect on humans. So, and disorders, as it were. So we'll take a quick glance at this and see what game they're looking at here. Fortnite weapon charms could be on the way. We'll see what that is. Read about that. I'm gonna pull it. This looks really weird. Kojima Productions responds to false news reports linking false news somehow linking Kojima to perpetrating the assassination of former Japanese Shinzo Abe. What? We'll see what that's about. We've read about both of these. Basically, Musk is trying to back out of the purchase of Twitter because what he offered to buy Twitter at per share was roughly, what, $55 a share? and now the value of Twitter per share is down to like $37 or $38 a share, and he's trying to go, well, maybe not. And Twitter's trying to hold him accountable, going, yo, this is what you offered. This is what you said you would buy us for. You got to stand by it. We'll see what happens. Even if he doesn't have to follow through with the purchase, he already agreed that in the agreement that was signed to purchase, if for some reason he is able to back out, he still has to pay that company $1 billion. Is that not wild? Blomkamp, why I'm making video game off the grid. Let's see what that's about. We read about that. Ubisoft's been kind of cleaning up shop for a while. My thought is, we'll read about this. We've seen Ubisoft had been very reluctant over the first half of this year to put out any kind of release dates. They had been taking a lot of their old servers, old game servers offline. They've been cleaning up a lot of their internal stuff, and my thought was that it was in preparation of them potentially being sold. Because the rumor mill was that if a big company was going to be the next one to be sold, it would either be Ubisoft, EA, or Square Enix. We've seen both Ubisoft and Square Enix do things of late that could be potential indicators that they would be the next big developer to get acquired. But so far, the only thing that has come of any of that really acquisition wise is the fact that all of Square Enix's North American developing studios had been sold to Embracer Group, along with they also sold the IPs for Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Thief to Embracer Group. Other than that, all of those companies remain intact. They have not been sold or acquired. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll pull that up and read about it. Let's see what this is about. Dr. Disrespect's AAA studio is making an extraction shooter. If you're not aware, we've known that the doc was making his own game, as it were, for a while, and has also resorted to putting NFTs out there to get people to buy into being part of the beta and scummy stuff like that. So we'll see what this is about. These bundle deals are a perfect companion to Amazon's, I'm guessing, cloud gaming. Yeah, their Luna stuff. We'll see. We'll see real quick. We'll take a quick glance at that. And to be honest, like, here's the deal. I don't have any issue with the doc. I think he's actually a pretty entertaining individual. But what I do have an issue with is the way NFTs are used in a very scummy kind of way in the gaming industry. That feels like the only way they're actually used right now. The whole blockchain, Web3, NFT crypto economy stuff in games. All of it seems very scummy right now. It doesn't seem like anything's used in a mutually beneficial way that can benefit both the gamer, the consumer, and the gamer as the consumer, as well as the developer. Right? It's just everything I see about any kind of developer incorporating NFTs and that kind of thing into their games just constantly seems like a way for them to suck more money out of people. And therefore, it just seems like a scam to me. Go to 4 real quick. Gamers 8 has taken on Razer as a gaming gear partner. I'm not going to pull up that article, but that's about the information we need right there. So there you go. Read about that yesterday. Now you can play the first Witcher's prologue in VR. Really? That's cool. If you weren't aware as well, the entirety of Witcher 3, there's a mod that was created. The entirety of Witcher 3, every part that you play as Geralt, anyways, can be played in first person mode, which would be actually super brutal, I think, but pretty crazy nonetheless. But we'll take a look at that real quick. Okay. Let's pivot over here. Let's go to our other search. I already read about that yesterday. Best Prime Day video game deals available now. Let's take a look. Read about that yesterday as well. Gamer, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? Best video games are also books. That is like not really news. You know what I mean? So are the movies. Like, so the best movies are also originally books. You know what I mean? That's the key to it is taking what is great about those titles as the fantastic works of literature that they are, and turning them also into great pieces of entertainment, whether it be a movie or a TV series or a video game. That is the tough thing to get done, you know? And traditionally, what people have, we've talked about this as well. Traditionally, through entertainment, the translation of taking a book into a different form of entertainment, like a movie or TV series or video game, has not been done really well. It has been a lot of great details that make the book so good and the story so nice and loved. have been left out or watered down or what have you, and I think nowadays there is a more delicate approach to converting these books into other forms of entertainment and trying to make sure that everything follows along with the book as closely as possible, because there's been so much disdain for directors that have taken these titles and altered what the story is or left out critical stuff. Gamer, what's going on, dude? I think it's the first message I've seen. Just a bunch of LOLs, bunch of lols, dude. Gamers band together and create The Watch. See what that's about. Um, PS5 games are up to 71% off ahead of Prime Day. Yeah. Well, I did kind of look it up, and apparently, I did kind of look it up yesterday, and apparently there are a lot of different views on how Geralt is pronounced or supposed to be pronounced. So I'm just gonna keep saying it how I say it, man. I don't know. Uh, yeah, I mean, even apparently the director of the game was talking about how they were they thought that the name was supposed to be pronounced a certain way, and then that kind of changed for them as other people were thrown into the mix, and how they thought the name was supposed to be pronounced as uh, the production of the games went along and stuff like that. So I don't know. I mean, I looked it up yesterday, and as I mean, let's not get it twisted. I am not somebody that, and to be fair, I have an accent. I pronounce things probably very similar to the way many people with my same accent would pronounce things, right? Um, and but it's much different to the way people in other parts of the world would pronounce things. So, but it's not a surprise that the way I pronounce things is, you know, different than what you guys, most of the people in the community, feel things should be pronounced. So it is what it is, man. We've talked about how I pronounce things, and it has definitely become a thing for the channel. So I don't know. It's just it's the way I've always pronounced his name, and at this point, me trying to change that would just be more work than it's actually worth at this point. You know what I mean? The thing, what they were saying that originally it was supposed to be like kind of more like pronounced with a J. It's supposed to sound more like a J, like Geralt, instead of more like a G, like a G. Is that correct? I don't know. We'll look it up, man. It's cool. I'm gonna get through the news. We've talked about that. Yeah, we've got this up already. We'll see what's going on there. GTA 6 has one important goal, says Rockstar Games. We already read about this. Oh, no, we didn't. Wait. I don't like news from this site, bitcoin.com news stuff. I'm going to stay away from that. You see, here we go. Yeah, this video game industry proves to be recession proof. And now we're seeing all kinds of articles coming out that's like, oh, video game recession's coming. It's so wild, dude. There's so much conflicting stuff right now. Oh, PlayStation Insider shares bad news for Bloodborne fans. See what that has to say. Okay, I think that's about it. That's about it. Let's take a look at what we have here. Video game prescribed by doctors to treat ADHD. So now age 13, this individual was diagnosed with ADHD in preschool. Since then, the family who lived in the U.S. City of Savannah, Georgia, have taken Wayne to see occupational therapists to help him better cope with everyday life tasks. They also tried the medication route, but had to stop after the prescribed drugs exacerbated the boy's regular migraines and made him sick. With ADHD continuing to affect Wayne's school performance over the years, Kelsey says he was hoping for something more for any other option. I could see him struggling to understand why he was not able to focus and the frustration he had when he tried so hard and would still get distracted. She says, "It broke my heart, but I felt trapped and completely useless." Help came in the end from what initially seems very incongruous. Incongruous? Is that right? A computer game called Endeavor RX. In 2020, it became the first such game to be approved by the U.S. and Food. How do you even pronounce that, dude?
Incongruous.
Incongruous. That doesn't. Okay.
Incongruous.
Way off, dude. Incongruous. It looks. That doesn't look like congruous. But okay. There you go. The more you know. I felt like I was probably butchering it, but it doesn't look like it should be pronounced that way. New words, learning things, man. So in 2020, it became the first such game to be approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration for use in the treatment of ADHD in children. Currently only available on prescription from doctors in the U.S., Endeavor RX at first glance looks very similar to countless other games. Control a little alien that races on a spaceship through different worlds, having to collect things. App-based game was developed in conjunction with neuroscientists and is designed to stimulate and improve areas of the brain that play a key role in attention function. The idea that it trains a child with ADHD to both better multitask and ignore distractions, and a computer algorithm measuring his or her performance and customizing the difficulty of the game in real time. When doctors prescribe it, the child's parents get sent an activation link that is needed before the game will play. Kelsey said she was a little skeptical, but at the end of 2020, Owain started a 3-month program playing the game for 25 minutes a day. He did another round last year. He admitted it was a little harder than he expected, she says, but he understood that he was doing it to help improve his focus. He remained super motivated despite the difficulties and frustrations that came along with it. After each of Owain's sessions, she noted his daily behavior in the app and tracked his progress. Soon, she started to see small positive changes in his behavior. For example, getting ready for school had become smoother, and there were no negative messages from teachers. And after failing 5th grade, Owain subsequently shot up to getting A's and B's for his work. Wow. It has been amazing to see my son so successful, but more so, seeing him have confidence in himself, Kelsey says. He's no longer upset and confused about why he just does not get it. The game has been designed to boost cognitive processing. It is something that's very difficult to get through molecular means, like taking a pill, but it turns out that sensory stimuli can actually directly stimulate parts of the brain controlling cognitive functioning. Yep. His company now plans to launch the game in Europe in the next few years. In London, UK app Thymia is using computer games to help doctors and other medical professionals detect and diagnose mental health issues, particularly depression. One game sees the user have to try to memorize moving objects, while another is a card game that also tests his or her memory. In addition to how well the patient performs in the game, their comments and facial expressions are also monitored and evaluated by the app, which accesses their computer and mobile phone's camera and microphone. Thymia has been launched by, Dr. Amelia Molimpakis, who has a doctorate in linguistics, cognitive neuroscience, and experimental psychology from the University of College London. That's pretty wild, man. Yeah, I mean, I've done research myself. They're continuing to find ways to treat cognitive functioning as a whole can be elevated, increased in the human brain just by playing like real-time strategy games, RTSs, for a period of like 30 minutes to an hour a day, like 4 to 5 days a week. So seeing that something like this has come about where they're finding that it can also be used to treat certain disorders like ADHD is not a real surprise to me. But it's awesome that they're figuring it out and specifically developing games to treat these disorders. That's cool. Fortnite weapon charms could be on the way. Unclear whether they'll arrive in the current season. Fortnite weapon charms could be on the way as a new customization option in the Battle Royale game. There have been rumors for some years that Epic Games is working on customizable cosmetic charms for Fortnite's weapons, with Twitter user HypeX stating in July 2021 that several charms were leaked 3 years ago, including a Dragon Egg, Disco Ball, Heart Locket, and Llama, amongst others. Weapon charms are back at the forefront of Fortnite rumors yet again, though, as it's been discovered that Epic is working on a cosmetic archiving feature. Twitter users Gmatrix Games has published some code regarding the new feature and allowed fans to make their own conclusions, although the cosmetic archiving feature does mention that it's possible to archive charms. It would make sense for Epic to be currently working on this to tie in with a first-person camera mode that it has in development for Fortnite, where weapon charms would be much more visible. It would be unlikely for Epic to implement a brand new feature partway through a season, so players will have to wait until at least Chapter 3, Season 4 for more information. with fans on Twitter already referring to them as Battle Pass fillers. It's unclear how well the new additions will go down upon arrival in Fortnite. It's today, July 11th, that Fall Guys challenges, which see players able to earn a skin in Fortnite, will be ending in game. So players will only have until the end of the day to unlock the biggest prize, a major man cake skin. Okay. So there you go. If you're into Fortnite, that might be something coming your way. Kojima Productions responds to false news reports linking founder to Shinzo Abe assassination. A far-right French politician admitted to thinking the connection was real. Responding to false news reports that Hideo Kojima somehow perpetrated the assassination of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, Kojima Productions has tweeted that the company strongly condemns the spread of fake news and rumors that convey false information. The company continues, "We do not tolerate such libel and will consider taking legal action in some cases. Such legal action would likely be complicated by the international character of the game of telephone, which led to news outlets reporting on a right-wing French politician's shockingly irresponsible tweeting in response to a 4chan hoax. I can only imagine the shock and horror of looking down at your phone and seeing news outlets in another country claiming you shot a former head of government." Dude, no kidding. The original story. On Friday morning, Japan's longest-serving Prime Minister, Shinzo Abe, was assassinated while delivering a campaign speech for upcoming elections. Dude, what? Dude, I didn't even hear about this. Abe was shot twice and died after being taken to a hospital. A suspect named Tetsuya Yamagami was arrested at the scene and has admitted to the shooting. That would seem as clear a resolution to an event that has sparked global horror and condemnation. Abe is regarded as one of the key shapers. I'm sorry. I apologize. Of the modern Japanese political landscape, to the extent the country's economic policies have been nicknamed Abenomics. This hasn't stopped parts of the internet from spinning up in alternate versions of events. One that has acquired momentum is the absurd claim that the assassin was Metal Gear and Death Stranding game designer Hideo Kojima. The original joke seems to have originated from 4chan, quell surprise, which was then picked up by a French comedian who, in a tweet intended to mock that post, said that Kojima was also a famous J-League player and AC Milan legend, as well as Shinzo Abe's assassin. This was then retweeted by far-right French politician Damien Rieu, I probably butchered that, who is associated especially with Generation Identitaire movement he co-founded, in which, before its dissolution in 2021, was widely seen in France as being a white nationalist and Islamophobic organization. Fantastic. The daily paper Liberation called it an organization where a conspiracy is never far away. Rio took the comedian's tweet seriously and went on to disseminate various images of Kojima alongside the false claim that Kojima was the assassin, saying it was proof that the far left kills. Wow. Despite the fact that Ryu is hardly the most trustworthy source, his commentary has now led to what began as an edgelord 4chan joke appearing on news channels. Good night, dude. Imagery falsely linking Kojima to the assassination appeared in an Iranian press outlet, and as part of a Greek news broadcast, the 4chan post where the Kojima falsehood seems to have originated is here. And here's a Twitter thread showing the now deleted chain from the comedian Ryu. Here's the Greek news broadcast using the images. In the last hour, Ryu has apologized, saying, "I naively took a joke for information. I didn't think people would make jokes about the assassination of a man, but I was wrong not to verify before sharing. My apologies to Kojima and to the fans of Metal Gear." The original 4chan post, and I got the yawns this morning, I'm sorry, is a reference to the racist canard that all persons from X nation continent look the same, and the larger incident demonstrates just how efficiently lies can spread on the internet today, especially when they seem to validate the views of political actors like Ryu. Hideo Kojima has made no comment about the incident, though. As with all these things, even the most obvious denials don't tend to remove the waft of crap entirely. It is ironic, though doubtless of little comfort, that a creative who warned decades ago of how the internet structure could only lead to widespread misinformation should be the subject of exactly that. Yeah, look, this was my initial thought when I saw the article, was that, first of all, making jokes about an assassination is just really, really bad form in the first place. But again, this is the issue with our world, right? Taking information that is just fed to you over some kind of, whether it be from another individual, some kind of online outlet, what have you, especially a social media source or whatever, should always be taken with a grain of salt. And before you spread misinformation, potential misinformation, you should be doing your due diligence to make sure that whatever you're about to, whatever information you're consuming and thinking about potentially spreading, you do your own research, educate yourself, and make sure that this information is credible, right? That you're not spreading misinformation. That is the problem with the world nowadays. Because misinformation is spread on purpose by many places, and they rely on the fact that people are going to take that information for fact and then spread it without educating themselves. So people just need to do a better job of taking a beat, educating themselves before they spread this kind of crap around. It's terrible. I'm not going to watch that. Ubisoft's online decommissioning may render 3 games unplayable for people who bought them. Space Junkies was covered in the initial announcement, but 2 more games have quietly received new notices on their store pages. 2 entries from the list of games Ubisoft is decommissioning online support for Assassin's Creed Liberation HD and Silent Hunter 5. Looks like they will be rendered completely unplayable by the move, contradicting Ubisoft's initial statement on what aspects of each game would be cut off. Last week, Ubisoft announced that it would be shutting off online support for a selection of games released between 2009 and 2019, including 11 on PC, alongside a list of what features this action would take away. All of the games would lose multiplayer and account linking, with relevant games also cutting off players' ability to access DLC. Only one of the games on the list, the 2019 multiplayer-only VR shooter Space Junkies, was said to be rendered completely inaccessible by the move. Since the announcement, AC Liberation HD and Silent Hunter 5 have been pulled from sale at the request of the publisher, and they also receive a new notice on their Steam pages. Please note that this title will not be accessible following September 1st, 2022. The same notice appears on the Doomed Space Junkie store page as well, while Splinter Cell, Blacklist, and Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands, 2 other games from the list, remain available for purchase, with a notice that the deluxe edition and DLC for this title will not be accessible following September 1st, 2022. I've reached out to Ubisoft for clarification, but it certainly looks like 2 more games than previously anticipated are going to be effectively taken away from their owners when Ubisoft pulls the plug on their online functionality later this year. This situation, as well as the PlayStation Store removing purchased movies from users' libraries in Germany and Austria, set a worrying precedent for the mutability of our digital purchases. These are edge cases, to be sure, an obscure AC spinoff, a submarine sim, a VR shooter no one seems to have played, movie purchases on an underutilized platform. But people out there spent real money on these products thinking they had some ownership over them, and these decisions are being made by successful mainstream companies with a high degree of consumer trust. Yup. Again, another one of those things to consider regarding digital purchases as opposed to physical copies of games. I mean, there are pros and cons to each, right? And there are even issues with nowadays having physical copies of games doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to play the full version of that game, right? But more often than not, if you have a physical copy of a game, you're going to be able to play the game in a much greater capacity, or a pretty well functioning version, as opposed to having a digital copy of the game in, whatever the company issues they might be dealing with, or deciding to take the game offline, thing like that. Not that every game has a physical copy, but it just brings up another kind of avenue to discuss there. Dr. Disrespect's AAA studio is making an extraction shooter. We already kind of knew they were making a shooter game. Not a surprise, especially coming from this individual's development company. Being referred to as Project Moon, it sounds like a cross between Escape from Tarkov and The Raid. Yeah, okay. Last year, Guy Beam, the former Sledgehammer Games level designer, better known these days as streamer Dr. Disrespect, announced he was founding a AAA game studio with former Call of Duty creative strategist Robert Bowling and Halo 5 multiplayer designer Quinn Del Hoyo. The studio, called Midnight Society, went on to sell beta access to its upcoming debut game in the form of a $50 Founders Pass, which came with a procedurally generated NFT that serves as your avatar in-game. Not much was actually known about the game, except that it will be a free-to-play multiplayer FPS made in Unreal Engine 5. Now, a handful of details have been revealed in a blog post, which says, our first game, Project Moon, is a vertical extraction shooter. By extraction shooter, it means a PvPvE raid game, like Escape from Tarkov or Hunt Showdown, where players keep the loot from every match they survive, but lose everything they brought with them when they die. By vertical, it means set in a high-rise. The Midnight Society blog goes on to say, our high-level gameplay goals are to capture the essence of an arena shooter level design with the scale and scope of Battle Royale player counts and the session-to-session gameplay mechanics of extraction-based shooters. The plan for Project Moon's development is for playable snapshots to be shared with founders every 6 weeks. These are vertical slices of key aspects of the game meant to focus the community's discussion around specific features or mechanics we're actively building, each of which is complete enough to have actionable conversations and discussions around. The first of these, called Snapshot CL1000, will showcase an assault rifle and the player's home base. We're offering 3 different shooting range experiences throughout the player hideout. Anywhere you see a red button, you'll be able to activate a unique target practice, each designed to hone a unique skill with first assault rifle. Thrilling. Yeah. No date for the release of this first snapshot has been announced, though it is mentioned that it'll be discussed at a founders event in Los Angeles on July 29th. Access Pass holders have exclusive access to download these snapshots. Dev roundtables, both online and in person, will allow us all to discuss the design of each feature, weapon, balancing, and other core gameplay loops. Something about calling weapons and balancing gameplay loops puts my teeth on edge, along with the use of vertical slice and actionable. It makes the whole thing read more like an AI that's been trained on E3 conference buzzwords than a description of a video game I might like to play. But then maybe I was already turned off by the way its procedurally generated NFT characters look like budget Daft Punk wannabes. Yeah. I think a lot of people have been turned off by this, especially the whole having to pay like $50 to buy an NFT to be part of their like beta access stuff. Dude, a lot of people were really jaded by that. That did not sit well with a lot of people. So right off the bat, man, they got kind of blasted for that. All right. These bundle deals are a perfect companion to Amazon's cloud gaming platform. Prime Day hits tomorrow. Amazon Prime Day hits tomorrow, which is, so we're going to see lots of sales coming. We're also, I think today is the last day that you can get all the like roughly 25, mostly indie games that are available for free right now on Amazon Prime Free Game or Prime Gaming. And then tomorrow we get a whole like list of 30 new games, and there are some pretty high profile AAA games that are going to be free, such as Mass Effect Legendary Edition, some Star Wars titles, I think, stuff like that. These bundle deals are a perfect companion. Yeah. So they're saying that these go. This is probably a bit of a promotional thing, but Amazon Prime Day might not officially be underway quite yet. Main sales take place on July 12th and 13th. Yes. Already seeing some noteworthy gaming deals starting to trickle in, particularly on Amazon's own products. Yo, Ava, what's up, my friend? How are you? Amazon's offering discounts of up to 36% on gaming bundles for Luna. Okay. If you're interested in their cloud gaming stuff, we'll see. I'm good, my friend. I'm good. Yeah, just trucking along, man. Trying to enjoy this summertime weather. Staying chonky, but trying to get back into shape a little bit. And just enjoying The Witcher 3 has been really cool. Enjoying The Witcher 3 and enjoying the news and hanging out with you amazing people, man. Uh, what you been up to? So you can get a Luna controller with phone clip bundle for $53. Fire TV gaming bundle with Fire TV stick 4K Max and Luna controller for just under 100. Fire TV gaming bundle, so the Fire TV stick 4K and Luna controller for 90. A Fire HD 10 tablet and Luna controller for 190. Fire HD 8 tablet and Luna controller for 130. Okay. We got some other Prime deals. If you're interested in that, here's the link. Can finish run again, so I understand. Yeah, dude, so here's my thing. Like I have never enjoyed running. I've talked about this before. Like if I'm gonna do cardio, like I've got a bike, I've got a beach cruiser. I threw it in Discord here recently. I'll pull it up real quick. This is my jam right here. If I'm gonna do some cardio, this is what I go out and hang out on. This is my beach cruiser, dude. I don't have a beach to ride around on, but this is my bike. So I like to go stroll around on my bike. Like when my days where I don't do like a weight workout right now, then I'll go hop on my bike if I don't go swimming. So in the summer, it's easier for me because obviously we got like a community pool that I can go like hang out in. I love to swim and stuff, but I don't do a ton of swimming. I'll swim a little bit. Mostly, I just like lay out at the pool and try to get a bit of a tan, and then I'll swim a little bit towards the end of it. But I've been riding the bike a little bit more, which is nice, and then doing some just like full body workout stuff to try to get into a little bit of shape. But it feels good, man. I definitely feel much better than I did throughout this past winter and everything. I'd really let myself go. So past couple of years, actually, I've gotten really bad. But I'm glad. I'm happy for you, man. I feel much better physically than I did. And I'm not doing anything like super extensive. Just some like kind of full body workouts every other day for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then swimming a little bit or something like that, and it makes a huge difference. It really does. I used to be huge into working out, man, and I just kind of burnt myself out on it, and I like food a lot. So it's a bad combo. Not wanting to work out anymore, plus just eating all the time. It's a bad combination, man. But I don't know. It's getting back into the routine's the hardest part. I think getting back into that routine of getting that workout schedule back into your lifestyle and maintaining it. That's the hardest part about it, I think. And for me, because of the winters, it gets rough too because I like working out outside and stuff like that, and then the winters hit and it's just cold and snowy and icy and stuff up here, and so I don't want to go outside. I just want to hang out inside all the time. Best Prime Day video game deals available right now. So let's see. We'll skim this real quick. So Animal Crossing's 50, Bravely Default 2 is 42. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for 28. Diablo 3 Eternal 38. Disney Classic Games Collection 20. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity 48. Breath of the Wild is 40 right now. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is 50. Skywalker Saga, Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga is 45. Mario Kart is 49. Monster Hunter Rise 34. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe 44. Pokemon Diamond 43. Pokemon Legends Arceus 53. Pokemon Shining Pearl 40. Shin Megami Tensei 5 40. Sonic Mania plus Team Sonic Racing Double Pack 30. Super Mario Maker 2 42. Super Mario Odyssey 40. And Triangle Strategy 50. That's all Switch stuff, right? Yeah, Switch deals. And then PS5, PS4 deals. You got Battlefield. People are actually buying this still? No way. What a hot mess Battlefield is. Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes for 19. Deathloop 32. Demon Souls 58. Elden Ring 48. Far Cry 6 18. Ghostwire Tokyo pre-owned. What? For 32. FF7 Remake Integrate 47. Kenna Bridge of Spirits Deluxe Edition 40. Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga 42. Lord of the Rings Gollum pre-order for 50. Lost Judgment. Oh, I'm ready to play Gollum. I forgot that's coming out in September, right? Think Lord of the Rings Gollum's coming out in September. Would probably try to play that, man. I really want to play that. Lost Judgment 29, Outriders 19, Plague Tale Innocence 20, Rainbow Six Extraction 13, Ratchet and Clank pre-owned 38. Okay. Resident Evil Village 30, Returnal pre-owned 45. Really? Riders Republic 40, Spider-Man Miles Morales pre-owned for 30, Yakuza Like a Dragon 30. And then Xbox deals. Back for Blood 12, Battlefield again, $20. They'd have to pay me. Sorry. Sorry, EA. You can pay me maybe to play your game. Maybe. Pay me. The Dark Pictures Anthology, House of Ashes, 17. Elden Ring 46. Far Cry 4 Game of the Year Edition 17. Far Cry 6 33. Forza Horizon 5 32. Grand Theft Auto 5 20. Guardians of the Galaxy 30. Halo Infinite 37. Skywalker Saga 45. Flight Simulator 40. Ori and the Will of the Wisps 24. Outriders 40. Plague Tale Innocence 18. Rainbow Six Extraction 13. Resident Evil Village 31. Riders Republic 40. Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin 45. Tales of Arise 20. Tiny Tina's Wonderland Next Level Edition 55. And Yakuza Like a Dragon 23. So they've already got some deals. I'll put this in chat real quick. They've already got some deals on Amazon for Prime Gaming, or Prime Day, excuse me. Prime Day, which starts tomorrow. I will remind everybody tomorrow as well, but just in case, don't forget to grab your free indie games on Amazon Prime Gaming right now. The games that are free and have been free for like the past roughly month, there's like 25 free indie games. They will no longer be there tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's going to be like 30 new games that you can grab. So grab the ones that are free. The last day is today. Go get those, and then be prepared to grab the new games tomorrow. There's some really good ones tomorrow, like Mass Effect Legendary Edition, some other Star Wars games, things like that. There's going to be some good games, so go get them. Got COVID, wasn't able to run without losing. Oh, dude, yeah. Finally back to normal. Took a little. I'll tell you what. I had a buddy of mine that got contracted COVID way back when COVID first came about, and was telling me like months, 3 to 4 months after they had gotten COVID, that they still would just constantly were just short of breath, couldn't catch their breath and stuff. It's COVID's wild, man. It can have some really, really bad lingering effects for people. In varying ways too, but definitely lungs are a common one for a lot of people. Yeah, for sure. That sucks. But I'm glad you're getting back to normal, Ava. Yeah. You can Now you can play the first Witcher's prologue in VR. Check that out. Witcher virtual reality become a Monster Slayer trailer. We'll watch this. Hold on. Patrick Lone has been working on a VR version of the original Witcher game for at least a couple of years now. Last time we checked in, you could walk around Kaer Morhen, but that was it. The current version available on Nexus Mods lets you play through the entire prologue, complete with combat and dialogue choices. A quote, every detail, every single prop was recovered. Carefully transferred from the original game, Patrick says. Remodeled and retextured, then placed where they exactly should be with detailed analysis and love. Most of the textures have been upscaled to 4K and objects can be interacted with, including drinks. Though not food, furniture, or weapons that are currently being wielded by NPCs. Rather than try to transfer The Witcher's frankly terrible OG combat mechanics into VR, Patrick replaced it with a battle system he describes succinctly. Just swing the sword to attack your enemies. You can draw a Geralt's blade from a scabbard on your back, even throw it at enemies. If you experience a bug where the weapon doesn't cause damage, Patrick suggests dropping and immediately catching your sword to fix it. While all the dialogue is presented in first person, only some of the cutscenes are as each one had to be completely remade. Patrick notes, you have the ability to rotate your head everywhere at any time, so I added some extra lore-based content for almost every cutscene. And by that, I promise that even if you played the original game, the experience still would be new and refreshing. He also restored some lines of dialogue that had been cut. The Witcher in VR supports a variety of headsets, including the Vive, Index, Rift, and Quest via Oculus Link. If you've got Oculus Touch controllers, you can use their triggers to grab stuff, including your sword. To play it, you'll need to own the original game. Then it's a matter of downloading the main package, running the setup.bat file, then finally downloading and installing the voiceover package. The first entry in the fact answers the most obvious question. Does this mod have nude scenes? Yes, it does. Good night. There's a bunch of thirsty gamers out there, dude. Bunch of thirsty gamers, man. All right. Gamers band together and create the Watch to get racism out of gaming. Toronto. Today, Melanin Gamers, a community that promotes diversity and inclusion in the video game industry while providing a safe space for all gamers, announced the launch of The Watch, a digital community watch designed to eliminate racism in the gaming community. Melanin Gamers and The Watch are calling on major video game developers like Activision Blizzard, the developer of the video game phenomenon Call of Duty, to create real accountability in-game for players by improving the reporting mechanism for the racist and toxic behavior that has gone unchecked for far too long. Melanin Gamers welcomes a meeting with Activision Blizzard to discuss the long-standing racism prevalent in games like Call of Duty and discuss how to make a much-needed change. This is a good thing, but it's not just racism that needs to be eliminated. It is hate speech altogether. It's hate. And again, we talk about it a lot in this community, right? There's nothing wrong with some like trolling out of people in competitive gaming. Troll somebody out, dude. That's part of it. You got to have some thick skin, okay? Get good or get trolled, okay? That's part of competitive gaming. That's part of just competition in life. But there's a difference between some competitive, trolly kind of banter in life, in gaming, and people taking it too far and turning it into hate speech, sexist, racist, biased. I mean, anything that crosses those types of lines is unacceptable and needs to be moderated. People need to get banned. There's no room for it. So we've seen, who was it? I think Epic's already in the process of incorporating some beta trials of some tech incorporation into their in-game voice that is going to be able to hopefully distinguish between those kinds of speech that go against their terms of service, which will help them identify individuals that are actually it won't rely as much on reporting from other players as it will just catching people breaking terms of service by using speech through voice and microphones in the game and stuff like that, and automatically taking action against them, or clipping the voice and sending it to a moderator to check and then go, yep, you're done, and then going and taking them out of the game or whatever and banning their account or what have you. So Epic's already doing stuff like that. They're already in the beta process, and that's what all these, especially big developers, should be doing. In my opinion, no developer should be releasing any kind of online multiplayer game where you can communicate in any form or fashion without any way to report. But especially these bigger studios, they need to be really, really, really making every effort they can to eliminate hate speech in all forms. As spotlighted in a powerful 41-second video, the watch is a rallying cry for all gamers everywhere to stand in solidarity, to be an ally, and join the movement to end racism in gaming. By showcasing snippets of the discriminatory lived experiences that gamers endure while gaming, Melanin Gamers and the Watch aim to raise awareness of the racism that takes place in multiplayer online games to create a tide for lasting change. Along with the streamers they've partnered with on Twitch, the Watch is asking viewers on the live streaming platform to use the built-in clip function to capture videos of racist language that they hear in the background of a stream and send it to the Watch on Twitter at HelpKeepWatch. Campaign hopes to show game developers like Activision and Blizzard just how widespread racism is in Call of Duty and encourage them to take real action to address the problem for good. Cool. We created Melanin Gamers with the belief that video games are for everyone to enjoy. Unfortunately, problematic gamers hurl endless verbal abuse towards people of color, like myself and my brother. Yeah. It's not just racism, though. I mean, this is an issue. It's a good place to start, but it's not. There's all forms of discrimination, The movement was inspired by personal and collective experiences as victims or bystanders to racial injustice in gaming. Melanin Gamers has a checklist for game developers like Activision Blizzard to work towards anti-racism in-game, including these following things. Unfortunately, racism is only one type of injustice seen in gaming. The Watch is mindful of the intersectionality and various forms of toxic discrimination and abuse that all types of players endure, from sexism, xenophobia, homophobia, and more, and is committed to providing a safe gaming experience for all. Cool, man. There we go. Melanin Gamers is a change maker organization dedicated to increasing diversity and inclusion in the video gaming industry. The organization strives to provide a safe space both online and in real life for people of color to come together and feel represented. Melanin Gamers hopes to contribute lasting change in the video game industry that reflects players from all walks of life. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm really, really glad that they hit on this as well. This is very important, right? Quite often I see where there's only a focus of one type of discrimination. It's like we're fighting this discrimination, which is good, but they don't bring up the fact that there are so many other forms of discrimination, right? And to see them, obviously they've got this all started. This apparently all started because this group of people had experienced so much racial discrimination, right? But the fact that, and it was funny that I was just hitting on it, I was like, there's so many other forms of discrimination that need to be removed, and done away with, and they hit on it. This is what I love to see. they are mindful of the fact that it's not just racism that is a problem. There are so many other forms of discrimination that needs to be, done away with, and that is fantastic. So I'm actually going to throw that in chat. I'm also going to pull this up. Dude, how does it do that? Okay. Let me see if I can just find him on Twitter real quick. Yeah, there we go. Cool. This is their Twitter as well. So if that's actually awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I love it, man. Dude, I think it's raining. What? Crap. Well, I mean, I love when it rains, but I was planning on maybe going to the pool this afternoon. That might not be happening. Anyways, I would like this to say we are a community watch fighting racism in gaming as well as other forms of discrimination. I would like it to say that. Obviously, they have a very dedicated fight against racism, but and so this is good, dude. It's good. Yeah, cool stuff. There it is. GTA 6 has one important goal, says Rockstar Games. I don't think anyone could argue against the fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 is the most anticipated game of all. I think a lot of people would argue that. Really? I'm not. What? Really? I disagree. I think this is this individual's take. I don't think anyone could argue against the fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 is the most anticipated video game of all time. More than Elder Scrolls 6 or Hogwarts or The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's upcoming sequel. GTA 6 is the game that keeps fans up at night. I seriously doubt. I mean, just thinking about how many people were hyped up about Elden Ring, I don't think there are going to be as many people anticipating GTA 6 as there were anticipating Elden Ring. Unsurprising given it's, yeah, whatever, dude. Late last week, Rockstar finally officially confirmed that we've what we've all known for. This is definitely whoever's writing this is absolutely geeking out over this game. They're just losing their mind. Last week, Rockstar finally officially confirmed that we've what we've all known for ages, that it's stepping away from major updates. Yep, we already talked about that. So the team, so Rockstar is stepping away from Red Dead Online. No more major updates, so they can focus on GTA 6. That's it? Oh, man. Okay, well, we already knew that. Here's the last article we have for the morning, okay? If anybody has anything new they want to bring to the table, or gaming industry, video gaming industry-wise, that is pertinent for us to dive into regarding the industry that I haven't hit on today or in previous news segments, please let me know and we'll take a look at it, okay? PlayStation Insider shares bad news for Bloodborne fans. A notable PlayStation Insider has recently shared some bad news for those hoping to see a remaster of From Software's Bloodborne on PS5 or PC in the future. In recent years, calls for PlayStation to remaster Bloodborne have started to get louder than ever before from fans. Despite this outcry, both PS and From Software have yet to do anything with the franchise since releasing the game's the Old Hunters DLC in 2015. And based on new info that has now come about, it doesn't seem like this pattern will be changing anytime soon. In a recent interaction on social media, one user asked Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier to leak the existence of a Bloodborne remaster. Schreier is considered one of the most well-connected reporters in relation to the video game industry, which is why he was being asked this in the first place. Unfortunately, rather than leaking the game like was requested, Schreier did the complete opposite and shot down the notion that this project is in the works whatsoever. Can't leak what doesn't exist, he said simply. Even though it might not be surprising at face value to hear that a remaster of Bloodborne isn't going to come about, this info does go against some of other reports that we've heard about within the past year. In fact, multiple insiders who have shared accurate scoops in the past have claimed that a new version of the game is going to be released at some point. In addition to this, a full-blown sequel to Bloodborne is also said to be in the works at Bluepoint Games, which is the studio that remade Demon's Souls for PS5. Whether or not any of this will end up being true in the long run remains to be seen, but based on what Schreier has now said, it sounds like fans shouldn't get their hopes up. Bloodborne is like as notorious as it gets for rumor mill stuff, as far as a potential remake, remaster, sequel, anything that has to do with anything new coming for that title, series, IP, it's as notorious as it gets. And people look for any possible reason to add to the myths surrounding what could potentially be coming for Bloodborne. It has been that way for years. My advice is to just not put any stock into anything you ever hear about Bloodborne unless it is something official. Because it's just, there's just constantly stuff being kind of developed and thrown around as what is happening with the game, even though it doesn't appear that anything ever actually is. People want it so bad. They want it so bad, and which is what makes it so easy for people to come up with like fake news about it, you know, and really get the ball rolling on that. So it's really funny to see because people want it so bad they'll just eat it up, you know. They really do. They eat up the Bloodborne stuff. It's really wild because they want it so bad. It's pretty crazy. I think that's all we got for news today, guys. Thanks to everybody who's part of it. Everybody that's part of what we do here. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. We will be moving on into day 5 of The Witcher 3. Okay. So before we do that, I'll just say that if you're enjoying this content and you're viewing this as a VOD on YouTube, you're enjoying the content, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and potentially leave me a comment so we can have a bit of a discussion regarding some of these topics and articles that we covered today in this video gaming news segment, okay? Also, see what you can do about coming and hanging out with us at 6 o'clock a.m. CST every single morning where we start the stream up with the video gaming news segments, okay? Other than that, everybody just stay healthy, stay safe, Be kind to one another, and we'll catch everybody tomorrow for July 12th edition of Video Gaming News.